Hello and welcome to the Creator's Garden. I'm called Harpy, and today we'll be continuing on working on the latest installment of the Snapdragon Club webcomic series, The Actress's Tale. So, not much of a preamble here, so we'll go ahead and move on to the main camera. So as you can see, we do have the outer panels already lined out, but what I'm going to do first is finish up on the lettering of the word bubbles, so that way I know that everything left over is to be, proper illustration. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well today. The flowers are very much decently in bloom out in the garden, so that's always nice. And let's see if I can't call up my top borb Feather King here. Oh, there he is. Thank you, Feather King. Pardon me, I'm probably going to be a little bit quiet while I'm inking this because I don't think I can letter and talk at the same time just yet. As for why I give Ruby Merchant these sort of like wiggly dial-up bubbles, I always thought that they gave him like a little bit of a creepiness. Like, although I have a little bit of trouble imagining what voices sound like, I think I imagine his to be like sort of whispery, raspy a little bit, but not unfriendly, if that makes any sense. It's like he's someone who, at first glance, you would not trust if you met in a dark alley. Although there's a lot of people you wouldn't trust in a dark alley, but, you know. finer tipped black ink pens that I have. And I would also attempt to use the Microno 3, but I tend to be a little bit heavy-handed, so I have destroyed nibs that size. And hello, Dote. Hello, Ferox. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could make it this morning. How are you doing on this fine morning? I'm doing alright. It's just been fairly quiet. I'm still working on my sewing projects. I'm trying to figure out, in terms of the sewing project, how to sew like puffy sleeves. I've never done that before. I've never attempted to sew sleeves before. So I'm hoping I can learn how to do that. Also, it is weirding me out that the pinned message is at the bottom of the chat box. At least on my end. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. I'm so used to it being at the top, so I don't understand why it's at the bottom now. It's so weird. Anyways. I hope that your mornings are going well. I hope you'll let me know what you've been up to. I'm sorry, not puppy sleeves. Puffy sleeves. Like sleeves that poof out, not bark bark puppy. You're all good though. About to eat breakfast, then animate. Yeah, that's fair. What you having for breakfast? I didn't have a whole lot, honestly, before I started stream, so that's why I'll probably be taking a break, you know, after a page, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hard-boiled eggs, cheese, yogurt, the usual. Those all sound really good. Oh. As a small aside, the Borbs, like, they lay eggs, but they don't turn into anything. It's kind of a chicken situation where if it's unfertilized, the eggs are just not anything. But also, it's like, I'm trying to make it so that I know how many Borbs there should be in the Creator's Garden. I should hopefully know how many Borbs there are. After that, digging a hole in the ground and getting themselves stuck debacle, I'm a little scared how much they can surprise me. But yes, puffy sleeves involve gathering and a fair bit of fabric. Yeah. And specifically, the one I'm attempting to do also includes having, like, elastic at the bottom. So, not only do I have to gather it, but I also have to, like, you know, insert some, like, stretchy string in there. At least that's the plan. careful when making his word bubbles because I don't want it looking too symmetrical. I can accidentally just fall into a pattern and then be like, whoop, that doesn't look quite right anymore. Okay. How well does this eraser work? Not too shabby. Could be worse, but it's definitely not nearly as bad as the other erasers that I got. And hello, Repairman. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could make it. Hope you're doing well. I heard for scary characters in movies, symmetry can help because real people are not symmetrical. Yeah, I can see that. But I guess it all depends on the sort of vibe you want for your character as well. Like, if you're simply just going for, like, a subtle uncanniness to them, then yeah, I can see that. But I highly doubt that that same philosophy applies to jittery word bubbles. Elastic is pretty fun to work with. I'm hoping it is because I've never done so wish me luck. No, I think I'll just go ahead and use this one. Definitely needed that. Okay. See what colors we're working with. Luckiest wish, there are good tutorials that can help out. Well, I'm hoping the one I found is good enough, but it's at this point it's just a matter of me trying it. I just need to do it. That's basically all there is to it at this point. You got this. Fabric is forgiving. More or less, I have figured that out. Yeah, and I think that is also what helped me get over my initial fears of working with textiles in the first place. Because for the longest time, I just thought it was far too daunting. I thought there's absolutely no way. I applaud those who are able to work with fabric and make beautiful clothing and make plushies and all sorts of things. Do I think I would be able to do it? I definitely wasn't confident I could. But now, I think that there's a possibility. I decently could. Again, at this point, it's just a matter of me actually going out and trying it, which I have to some degree. I know in past streams I showed off a little bit of my attempt at making an Ida bag, which it's essentially a box made out of cloth. That's essentially what it was. But it was still a good attempt, and I also made. Well, not made, more like modified. A little Dreamwalker doll. So for those who don't know, Dreamwalker is one of my fae characters in the world of Sanctus. Basically, he just goes around giving people good dreams. He's also doing other things in the Snapdragon Club series, but that's what he's mostly known for in the world. Like if he just happens to be like happens upon you while you're sleeping, he'll just grab one of his dream shards and give you a good dream. And it's usually like generically good, so it's like he doesn't like create the specifics of the dream usually. It's usually just like here's some positive vibes for your dream, and the dreamer ends up making the specifics on their own. think I do. Might have to improvise. have really steady hands is impressive. I mean, I don't particularly think I do, but if you say so, I appreciate the compliment. I'm just trying my best, honestly. That's all. That's all I'm doing. I'm just deciding, even if it's a mistake, I'm just gonna keep going like I meant to do that. Can barely draw a straight line in one go. Honestly, I constantly think about line boil on my stuff. I mean, yeah. Like, honestly, if I looked back at the panels that I have now, I'm sure you could catch so many mistakes. Like, just on this one alone, I completely wonked up to the shelves there. They're not quite following proper perspective rules. But I just kind of went, you know what? Since that one's a little bit more obviously lopsided, I'm just gonna pretend they know it's lopsided and add a little thing like, hey, maybe the shelf was just applied wonky or something happened to it and it broke. And I just, you know, do the Bob Ross mantra. No mistakes, just happy accidents. a bit of stretch. Stretch my wings. And if you've been sitting for a bit too, I hope you take time to stretch yourself. That's about the line art done. So now I can just erase everything. What kind of burger would be my favorite? It's been a while since I had a burger, but let's see. Well, obviously you gotta have your sesame seed bun, right? But in terms of the actual contents of the burger, I want to say with like caramelized onions in it. I think that sounds good right now. And the cheeses can differ, but I think I would like to try a pepper jack one. A pepper jack cheeseburger sounds interesting. Who is the hardest and easiest character to draw? Well, it's a sort of slightly nuanced answer because, like, it sort of depends on, like, the piece I'm working on, but it also depends on, like, a couple of factors. I will say that in the past, back when I was working on the Hunter's Tale, I would have said that I always kept on saying that Dolly's outfit in particular was difficult for me because I made the silly mistake of deciding that her polka dots are consistent and did not move. So I had to keep on remembering where those polka dots were placed, where they were in, like, when she was, like, shifting directions. So every time I drew her in a new panel, it's like, oh no, which polka dots are showing? What color were they? I'm sure if you have, like, characters with all those extra details when you're animating, the struggle is hopefully relatable. I will say of the characters that I have stickers of, okay, well, yeah. It's gotta be Falcon. Falcon's the easiest. He's just pure shadow. I can basically just do whatever I want. It doesn't matter what's on the inside because it's all just gonna get covered in black anyways. So long as I have the, you know, silhouette the way I want it, then he can just be, you know, whatever. So Falcon's definitely the easiest. The most difficult, my gut instinct is to go with Akasi, mostly because not only is he a muscular snake boy, which, you know, I need to, like, learn how to be more consistent about his muscles, but also his snout. It's mostly his snout because, as I mentioned prior, elongated features on the face, such as beaks or snouts, or snoots, I suppose, in the case of Akasi being a snake. They are difficult if it's not, like, in one of the 3 poses I know offhand. If it's not a side view, front view, then it can get a little bit dicey as to how I'm supposed to draw that. I just think those that lean into the barbecue or barbecue sauce, lettuce, onions, onion rings, bacon, cheese, and whatever else might stop your heart. I mean, yeah, if you put too much of that the greasy type foods inside the burger, yeah, no, you're starting to get into, like, carnival food territory. Dots are hard to animate, yes. Makes so much sense, yep. Been practicing with perspective with your series lately, so that's fun. Yeah. And I think that's the thing with my series as well, is that instead of, like, you know, doing a school curriculum type style of, oh, what shall I practice today? Shall I practice perspective? Shall I practice color theory? Now it's more an instance of, there is something I wish to apply to my current work that I want to try. Therefore, that is what I will practice. I feel like that helps me a lot in, you know, actually retaining what I learned when I know that there is something that I can immediately apply it to. For instance, in the earlier pages, when it's nighttime, I tried to apply more a little bit of, like, color theory in that, well, if it's nighttime, it's more of, like, there'd be sort of like a blue tint over everything. So that's why instead of coloring like yellow in Mackenzie's hair or yellow for Vakshi like I usually would when it's in more neutral lighting, I went with the shadow green alcohol marker, which is this one. Oop. You gonna focus? I don't think you want to focus. Oh well. But yeah, it's this one. And so that's why during the time when I was coloring these pages, that I used that green to color their hair and most of Vakshi. I still added like little hints of yellow in there, but for the most part it was still the shadow green that was carrying like the whole vibe. And I was also like experimenting with warm shadows. So it's like, you know how like in color theory there's like cool tones and warm tones in terms of like which colors lean towards what. So for the shadows, instead of like going for like a brown or something, I leaned more towards like orange for the shadows. And I think that actually does work, so I will try to remember that moving forward. That's cool, yeah. And yeah. And again, for animation, it's like especially if you're like doing action sequences and stuff, that's like constant, you know, shifting perspective and being like, all right, how does it look from this angle and that angle? Or you have to constantly think about where the camera is at in that particular moment. And I work with like a sort of similar thing when it comes to comics because, you know, the camera is like the panel. It's like, well, where's the camera facing? Who's in shot in that particular moment? And it's just, instead of video, it's more like if you're taking like still camera photos or something. See a couple of pencil lines that are bugging me. Granted, I know most of them would like just be gone, but But yeah, do you have any characters that, like, are your favorite to draw? Or, like, are there any, like, tropes in character design that are, like, your guilty pleasure of what you like to lean towards? Because, like, if I had to, like, figure out what my characters usually have, I know that when it comes to my female characters, I tend to prefer, like, shorter hair with bangs of some sort. And I mean, you can even see it in my Harpy form. Short with bangs. Oops. Got a falcon in there. But I guess for some of my guy characters, you can even see it. This is mostly just a sticker plug now. If you want any of these stickers, they're in my coffee shop right over there. Okay. May have to try making you that burger one day. Seems good. I mean, I'm fairly simple. I don't like too much stuff. I do like having lettuce on the burger though. Lettuce is also good. Gotta get them greens. Cat is loafing my room and it's adorable. Aww. Yeah, I get that. Sometimes the Borbs like to chill in the room as well and turn into sort of like giant squishmallow type things. They look like tiny bean bags. Hope the Arctic Lemming, Luna the Barn Owl, and Arvine the Blue-Throated Macaw are your favorite characters from your series. Ooh. Lots of animals, I see. So are they like straight up animals, or are like they anthropomorphic, or? Just double checking that I have my protective surface under there. Always make sure you have a protective surface when you're working with alcohol markers, because even if it's mixed media paper, there's still a chance it can bleed through if you're like putting a whole bunch of alcohol ink in one spot. made a horrible mistake in your series. Trying slugfolk teeth and Brutal's armor led to annoyances. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Again, that was me with Dolly's dots. It's like, okay, from now on, they're magical changing dots that I'm not gonna worry too much about their placement and colors. Because that was a headache. But it's also the reason why my character designs are, you know, middling on the details. Like, you can even see from, say, Oren Kingsley's design, like, she's just a grumpy detective, right? All I did was gave her, like, light blue button-up, blue pants, and brown suspenders. And the main thing here is that her head resembles an orange, because she's got the orange round hair and she's got a leaf growing out of her head. And she's got freckles. The freckles are cute. Yeah, you gotta be selective with your details. Not horrible mistakes, but mistakes in creating extra work later. Yep. When Brutal gets armor proper, it'll have a far simpler standard. Yep. Yeah, and she's still cute without being overwhelming. That is precisely what I'm going for. Similar things could be said about Scotty as well. Because she only has, like, so many details herself. Like, she dresses in just black and red with the only, like, piece of white being the dream shard that Dreamwalker gave her. And even then, it's like, her major thing is that she's got, like, a red wing motif going on, because that's what her true form looks like. And even then, it's like the major red wing is her, like, scarf that kind of acts as, like, a third arm, in a sense. But yeah, I had to be very careful when designing the armor for the hunters in the Hunter's Tale. Because I knew, it's like, I want them to at least be, like, distinguishable from one another. But I also don't want to give them too much detail, because then that's more I have to keep track of. Luckily, they don't show up too much in the comic. It's just Crystal, whose armor I had to keep track of for the most part. But yeah. Is she a vampire? Are you talking about Scotty? This character right here? Because Scotty's true form is actually that of a seraph. She's basically just 6 wings. 3 pairs of wings put together. That is literally what her true form is like. And actually, maybe, do I have a picture of her in her true form? Yeah, Scotty's an angel. It's touched upon in the Sanctus pilot, which I unfortunately I paywalled that, so you can either view it if you are looking at the Patreon, or if you're looking at if you go to Ko-fi as well, and just basically if you I think so long as you like donate something, hopefully you should be able to access the posts. But yeah, the Sanctus pilot is available on both my Patreon and Ko-fi. But just to like basic, lore overview, Scotty is from the Angel Sphere, which is just a whole other place, completely different from like the planet of Sanctus. But yeah, she ended up on Sanctus and now is kicking monster butt. I think it speaks volumes that your favorite Batman look is when he looks like a big lump in his cape wrapped around the cool shape without the issue detail. Oh yeah, silhouetted Batman with like in the painterly style as well. Like, how they just do like the painted still frame in the animated series and it's just his eyes squinting. Classic Batman stare. Biblically accurate Scotty, exactly. As soon as I think I have a picture somewhere. I think. I might. Or I might have misplaced them. I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world if I misplaced it. I could just draw up Scotty's true form really quick. Let's see here. In fact, I'll just grab. So basically, like, that's basically all she is. In the most basic of sense, this is her stick figure version. But, like, if you want to draw her, like, walking, then like the first upper pair of wings kind of like act as her head, and they like spring up when she's like surprised or something like that, so they kind of emote like that. And then the second pair of wings would act as her arms, and then she can like kind of barely able to like stand on her third pair of wings, like that. So that's basically what she looks like in her true form. I'm basically just trying to like go over it with a base coat of color and then going over it again to try and add bits of texture here and there where I can. Sometimes I want to lean into the marker texture a bit. I think this one might need to be refilled though. Ooh, you did close to 20 seconds of animation this week. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, that is so much. And I'm assuming this is like 24 frames per second? Like at least on average, assuming you're not doing like anything super fancy with the timing. That's where the purple went. 12 frames per second. Alright. Still impressive. Because, man, 12 FPS times 20. That's 240 drawings. And just curious. Is it staying in the sketchy phase, or are you planning like inking and coloring? Because if it's gonna be like fully rendered drawings every single time, then yeah. All the more props to you, I'm just saying. Oh, you did the math and you did exactly 23 seconds. Ah, so... Alright. So 240 plus 36... 276? 276 drawings. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, and hello, Alpha. Welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. I hope you're doing well. I know you've been getting ready for a convention. So did you get all the artwork you needed to do done? Oh, what's the ice for? Stretch time. Big stretch. I hope you guys are stretching too. Especially if you're working on big projects like animation. Look up some of my past pages for this. Gray, the door was black. Got it. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Something, but I will take care of that later. think for the time being. Also, that isn't the right color. This is the right color. There we go. I think that's just about it for this page. Nothing too glamorous, but it gets the ball rolling. Let's see, where did I put? Okay, well. So what I'm gonna do now. So I'll have this set up. It's all sketched out. It's just a matter of inking it up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick break, get some hydration, get something to eat. And in the meantime, the fishing mini game will still be open, and you can also summon Borbs as well. So I hope you guys will enjoy the break. Enjoy the calm, relaxing vibes, and I will see you soon. And I'm back. But, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be back, honestly. I'm thinking that I'll go ahead and, like, outline the panels. But then after that, I think I'll finish this stream off by doodling a little sticker. And, whatever Q&A you guys happen to have about, like, the art process, the world of Sanctus, or the Creator's Garden. Or just literally anything you guys feel like talking about. I don't know. Today just feels like one of those days. Goodness. I'm okay. Been a tiring week for everyone. Thought it was just your poor sleeping habits. Well, it doesn't help that I actually, like, did a lot yesterday. So, I think I'm still, like, have some leftover exhaustion from that. I'm trying to find a straight edge that I can use. I think I have one right over here. Goodness. I will say that although I never planned to, like, ship my characters, once I started getting them into, like, conversations and seeing how they, like, talk to each other, I started seeing where there can be chemistry in some places. And it's like, it can be any type of chemistry, honestly. Yeah, you want to talk about my straight lines now. Yeah, you decided early on that for your leads it's not relevant enough to be stated either way. Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, about the garden. Is this the H.P. Lovecraft idea applies to Sanctus? There are godlike figures, but there's something bigger they can't hope to see. So, in terms of what the Creator's Garden is to Sanctus, it is a lot more like within their grasp technically. Like if they could figure out space travel, they would be able to get here pretty easily. But because space travel is only really known to a few beings, and those beings are not natives to Sanctus, then it's I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon that they're going to find the Creator's Garden. But really, it's not people or other species finding the Creator's Garden that I'm worried about. I feel like since the demons had their way with this place, it's a little bit too late for that. That ship has sailed. The only thing that I'm concerned about is other beings finding Sanctus. Because the whole point of Sanctus was that nobody was supposed to be able to find it, so that anyone who needed a safe place to hide from whatever was dangerous out there could go to Sanctus. Basically, if they were in a dangerous situation, if they were in danger of just disappearing or any other sort of thing that they could be at risk of, they were supposed to just sort of like pop and end up in Sanctus. That was the original plan. However, I am quickly finding that there are flaws in that plan. For if there is a way for people to get isekai to Sanctus, that still means that there is like it's kind of like the hole in the Death Star type of situation. There's that one like major flaw, that one opening where it's just like anything could get through. An Achilles heel, if you will. No. Things that are of Lovecraftian nature would just more or less be anything related to, like, the various afterlives or equivalent thereof. But, yeah, so, anyways, because of that flaw, that's why I'm attempting to keep an eye on Sanctus and just making sure things don't get too hectic down there. And if you've read the grand opening comic, you'll know that technically the demons have found Sanctus in a sense, but they are also currently not in a world-ending sort of situation just yet. That would only occur if their entire species knew that Sanctus was around. Then Sanctus would be in trouble. So that's basically what I'm doing. Just trying to make sure that the rest of their kin as a whole don't find Sanctus. Because the problems that they have going on are bad enough. We don't need a repeat of what happened to the Creator's Garden. I'm actually gonna try this out just because. Eventually, when I do get to inking the artwork for this, I am looking forward to, let's see, I think, yeah, these two are my favorite panels for this page. Because you get a good, nice look at this metal door over here, which, unfortunately, I didn't have time in the comic to get into what that door is. But, essentially, that is where Ruby Merchant would take his customers to go, like turn their blood into rubies. Because as I mentioned, like in previous streams, Ruby Merchant's whole thing is that his shop, you can only buy his wares with rubies. And And the way he obtains those rubies is by turning blood into rubies. Turning blood into magical rubies. Like, yes, I know, like, chemically speaking, they are not made of the same things. It's purely an aesthetic type of thing. They are special blood rubies. But yeah, basically, he would take them behind that middle door, strap them to a chair, and then it's basically like how you're donating blood. It's basically that type of process, except instead of just like drip feeding into like a blood bag or something, you're basically drip feeding into like a vial in which you like has a special process in which he turns the blood into blood rubies, and then he would give those rubies back to the person whose blood it is and say, all right, there's your assortment of rubies, what are you buying? And basically you can give as much blood as you want. As for how many rubies you get per like ounce of blood or per liter of blood, I don't have the specifics in mind for that conversion. But it is generally the more blood you give, the more rubies you get type of thing. switch out pens. Okay, yeah. That's definitely better. Trust the juicier ink to be dry just yet, so I'm just gonna leave that be. And let's see. So, little sticker doodle. What should I draw for that? Maybe I should put up a poll. got 3 choices for you guys. So the 3 choices are Scotty in the angel form, so that would be like the 6 wings. Then we also have Falcon, who, as we know, is just a shadow, so that would be really quick and really simple. I'll probably add some like cutesy background for it if I do Falcon. And then Princess Borb, which, as a quick show, this is Princess Borb. Oh, we got a vote for Angel Scotty. Gonna say anything? No more votes? Going once? Going twice? Alright. Angel Scotty it is. I will still do some form of a cutesy background because I have stencils in here. And I would like to see how well they do. I don't think they're gonna do well. Because I don't think they like anything that is not a mechanical pencil. Try and see if I can freehand this. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. It was pretty chill. I got a decent amount of comic work done today. And I had a lot of fun talking with you guys. And even if you're just watching the VOD later on, I appreciate you guys being here. And I hope you guys will check out the Snapdragon Club comics if you haven't already. Let me know what you think. Any sort of feedback is always welcome. And I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you get stuff done that you want to get done. And I hope you'll also leave a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you've already done so, I appreciate you. And if you're feeling super generous, as usual, the Ko-fi link is right up there in the corner. You can buy me a boba. You can become a visitor of Sanctus and get a Borb attributed to you, like that one, or that one. Not like me though. You can't be like Princess Borb, because that's me. And as I've been showing off all stream, we got stickers in the shop. Where you can get a Princess Borb sticker as well. Or Harpy sticker. Or any of the characters that feature in the Snapdragon Club series. At least the ones so far. And even if you don't get the stickers, there are some free Borb emotes as well if you'd like to download those. Striking. Most Seraphim get at a visible body. Yeah. No. Scotty is just all wing. But that's why Dreamwalker gave her more humanoid form. So that she can mingle with the people of Sanctus a bit better. Not many people would know what to do with a seraph like her in this form. There you go. Delivery is pretty fast on the stickers too. I'm glad. I have no control of the delivery, but you know, we try our best here. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Next stream is going to be a little bit different in that it's not going to be on Tuesday to start the week. It's gonna start on Wednesday. And, yeah, hope to see you guys there too. So, have a good weekend, guys. Take care. Bye.